2 more seconds until the clock strikes 7:15. And for all of us here for the last 2 weeks and for probably the next 6 to 8 months, 7:15 means it's leap time. So Toastmasters, leapers and mentors, a very good evening and welcome to the second live training session of Leap 3.0. How are you all doing? All right, so I believe the energy you bring is the energy you receive. I didn't get any energy from all of you. So I want you to unmute on the count of 3 and tell me how are you doing. So 3, 2, 1.
Super.
Very well.
Super.
Awesome.
Always energetic.
All right, fantastic. That's something that I expected, and thank you so much for that. But this is the energy that has dissipated on the Zoom screen. But to help you energize, at least with your ideas flowing in, I have 5 questions for you. And all you have to do is type in the answer in the chat box. The questions are very simple. All you have to do is just give the first word that comes to your mind. Okay, let it be. It can also be a phrase. So a first word or phrase that comes to your mind. And I'm going to give you only 30 seconds to answer each question. So what's the first question is, what's the first word that comes to your mind when I say focus? You can type it in the chat box, all the answers in the chat box, so that
Focus on your health.
okay, I do not know whether you told me that or that was the idea, but okay. All right, the next question is
Parabola.
leadership is all about dash. Leadership is all about dash.
Winning together.
Put your answers in the chat box. All right, what is that one word that motivates you to keep you going? What is that one word that motivates you to keep you going?
Leap 3. It better be leap 3.
All right, 2 more questions. The fourth question is, when you think of wasting time, what's the first word that comes up? When you think of wasting time, what's the first word that comes up? Now, they better not say leap 3 here.
Yeah.
All right, and the last question. If you had an extra hour today, what's the first thing you would do? If you had an extra hour today, what's the first thing you would do? Fantastic. I think I can give you a huge round of applause for being so sporting. I just wanted all the ideas to flow in so that the next 2 hours will be fruitful in terms of the discussion that we have with our trainer, distinguished Toastmaster Swarna. All right, Toastmasters and friends, leapers and friends, I can see 52 of us have logged in and we still need another 20 more people to log in. So if you can use the next few seconds to quickly call up your friends, your fellow team members and ask them to join, that would be great. But on that note, I'd also like to remind you of a few ground rules that we should keep in mind considering an online environment like this today. I hope you have all connected and are seated in a peaceful environment with good internet connectivity, connected to your laptops, and your workbooks are ready. Please remain on mute unless you are required to speak. This would definitely help minimize the background noises and ensure clarity for all our participants. Please come on video. It would be nice to see all your lovely faces, smiling faces, and it would create a more engaging and connected experience for all of us as we learn together here at Leap 3.0. Also, please avoid making any unnecessary movements while on camera, as this could be distracting to others. On that note, I hope the energy has set in because that is what matters, at least for today. And now it is my distinct honor and privilege to introduce to you our LEAP chair. She has been a Toastmaster for over 12 years, and I'm sure you would agree with me when I say passion is her second name. Well, I add one more name to that and say creative because there's something that I wanted to highlight, especially considering her Toastmasters journey over the last decade and over. She has started, or she's been instrumental in chartering 5 Toastmasters clubs, 4 of them in District 121, and each of them unique in its own way, be it the first trilingual club in District 121, the first debate club, the first all ladies club in Mangalore, or even an advanced club help you champion at evaluation. Apart from that, she is also a coach, an author, and a mother of 3. Please put your hands together and welcome our LEAP Chair, Distinguished Toastmaster Jyotika Shetty.
Thank you very much, Daryl. Thank you. And I must say, your surname is creative, or the first name is creative, because you are very creative. You've not seen Daryl as a TMOD of any of the meetings. Please do not miss that. He's the most creative person I have seen. A very good evening, dear leapers and mentors. How are we doing today?
Great.
Fantastic.
All's
Next
well.
time, Daryl, we should start with a small dance, I think, to energize and get heated up. All right, it's been an eventful week last week for you, maybe. I hope all of you have completed your assignments and submitted on time. In case if you have not done, please catch up. Please try to deliver it or submit it on time so that you're not behind your peers. For us, last week has been quite eventful, doing a lot of things, but there's one thing that really stood out for me, and I want to share this with you all. Now, we were just going through social media, and we came across something that I really want to share with you. Personification of internalization of information that you're going to grab from here. We came across a flyer by one of our leapers who was a TMOD in a club in Bangalore. And what stood out for me is the theme of the meeting. Now, this was after our second session that happened last Wednesday. And if anyone can guess, please unmute and tell me, what do you think could have been the theme of this meeting?
Values?
Manifesto.
Leap.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
Probably
Sim?
leap.
Leadership.
It was, well,
Vision.
yes, of course. So last week, what did we learn about?
Values and vision.
Values and vision.
Values and vision. And this particular leaper, and I will definitely tell her name as well, and it's a her. The theme of this meeting was values versus vision. And this was in Nagarbavi Toastmasters, and her name is Toastmaster Navya. If Navya is around, I would like all of us to clap for Navya, because I really truly feel that this is one brilliant way to learn and grab what you have already learned here, because the learning doesn't stop in this particular room. You have to take it outside, do a bit of research yourself, discuss it with your group members, your club, and this is a brilliant way of doing it. So can we just highlight, Daryl, if you can spotlight, Navya here, so we can all clap for her. Is she there?
Yeah, hi Jyotika, I'm here.
Hi, Navya, can you unmute? Your show is yours, please.
Yeah, just a second. Give me just a second.
So that all of us know who Navya is, and we'll spotlight Navya and clap for her. Unmute yourself and clap for her, because she deserves this, because I truly call this as personification of internalization of information. Navya, hearty congratulations. I'm so pleased to see you do that, because you're setting an example and taking your learning to your club. I don't know what you have discussed there, but I'm sure you've definitely shared a lot that you have learned and discussed with your peers in this particular platform. And really proud of you, Navya, and here's hearty congratulations to you.
Thank you so much. And thank you for recognizing it and putting it today. Yeah, so it was a nice discussion, which I thought, since I learned a lot in the last week, so that's what I wanted to share with everyone. So since I choose the same theme, but this was really nice, and everyone thought about it for a moment. What's vision and value? Thank you all.
That's fantastic. Excellent, Navya. Brilliant. Thank you very much. All right. Let's see now in the coming days, how many of you will share this what you learn over here with your clubs, and that's a brilliant way to take and expand rather the movement of LEAP, which is the vision of our district director and our district 121. Now, today we're going to learn a different topic, something that is relevant to all of us, whether you're a leader or not. Time. Time, managing what matters. Now, how many of you find it very easy to manage your time and juggle between multiple things? Because I find it difficult. We think we're multitaskers, but I realize that I'm not a multitasker. I mean, you can multitask, but then you realize that you do not efficiently multitask when you're doing multiple things. Now, about 20 years back, I had watched an interview on TV, and the lady in question was a very famous Indian singer. I hope you'll have heard this name of Asha Bhosle. Asha Bhosle is a very famous Indian Hindi singer. She's also sang in different other languages. Now, what she was asked is, because now for those of you who know or who do not know, Asha Bhosle is a multifaceted woman. She's not only a singer, she's an entrepreneur. She has restaurants all over the world. She's also a mother. She's an entrepreneur, also a very good cook. And she does so many other things. And she does it efficiently. So the interviewer asked her, how do you manage time, Asha ji? And her response was, and that has created an impression in my mind even after 20 years, and that's why I would like to share that with you. She said, if you do things on time, you will find things for everything. If you do things on time, you will find time for everything. But the question is, how many of us do things on time? If I have to go to the gym at 7 o'clock slot with my trainer, I have to wake up by 5:30. I switch off the alarm and probably sleep for another half an hour saying, I'll make it to the gym on time. And I'm constantly late. I'm always late by at least 5 to 10 minutes. So the point is, are we doing it on time? And to shed some light here and give us that, show us a path forward, we have with us a facilitator who's a very experienced individual, and it's my honor and pleasure to introduce her. But what she's also going to share with us is not only time management, she's also going to share with us energy management. How many of you have said, oh my God, after talking to my boss or my colleague, I felt my entire energy has been drained out. So many times, right? We've all felt that. So today, she's going to share how we can save that light or the energy so that we can use it and put it for good use. It is my honor and pleasure to introduce to you this particular individual whom I met in Bangalore during the last DOTP. Please help me welcome Swarna Kalyan, who is an international consultant, trainer, and speaker specializing in global leadership, cultural intelligence, executive presence, and financial wellness. With over a decade of experience across US, Malaysia, India, and Singapore, she empowers professionals and organizations to lead with confidence, inclusivity, and impact. She is the winner of NRI Women Leader of the Year Award in 2024 and Global Women Influencer Award in 2025. That's quite impressive. In Toastmasters, as a district director in Singapore, Swarna led 5,000 members and 67 leaders across English, Mandarin, and Tamil clubs, earning the Select Distinguished District recognition. Her leadership journey, spanning engineering, banking, and talent consulting, gives her a unique lens on navigating change and thriving in multicultural environments. She has delivered keynotes, workshops, and coaching programs for MNCs, SMEs, startups, and educational institutions, blending timeless principles with cutting-edge solutions to inspire agility and resilience. Swarna is a member of the Asia Professional Speakers Singapore and holds a master's in business management from the University of Missouri, Kansas City. She is the founder of Thrive Compass Consulting, helping individuals and teams rise with clarity, courage, and purpose. With a huge round of applause, please help me welcome our facilitator this evening, distinguished Toastmaster all the way from Singapore, Swarna Kalyan. Over to you, Swarna.
Oh, thank you so much. Wow. Did I send you this? I think you got it from somewhere because I was hearing certain things new. Okay, thank you so much for having me here. Hello, District 121. How are you doing?
Doing great,
Can
ma'am.
you?
Doing
Fantastic.
very well. Thank you.
Okay, okay,
Great.
okay. So I'm having multiple screens around me. So I just want to know, can you hear me well?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you, thank you. Let me just share my screen. Can you see?
Yes.
Okay, so we heard what we are supposed to be learning today, but I just want to, since it's a continuation of what we have been doing, and Leap is a is a program that goes from one week to another. I just want to, all of us here, I want you to just recap what we did, you did the last 2 weeks. So can we use the chat button, or if anyone wants to voice up, you can raise your hand and then I can call you in and we can see how we can engage. So I want to know, maybe I learned from you all what you all did for the last 2 weeks in terms of vision and values. So can I ask anyone to use the chat, or what would you prefer? Would you prefer to unmute and answer, or if you're doing that, just raise hand button and I will invite you to join and unmute and speak, please. Anyone?
They can drop it in the chat box, Varna, and probably one of us
Yeah,
can
I
read it
think
for
that's
you.
better. That's better.
Yes.
Okay, so can we have in the chat box, please? Can you share what the values were actually? What did you discuss? Values have to be aligned with the vision to be effective. Yeah, that's good. Okay, reflections, reflecting on individuals' leadership and understanding the concept of emotional intelligence and its application. Okay. What else did you learn? I mean, did you identify any particular value that is important in leadership? Oh, your top 5 values. Okay. Lata, can you share what your top 5 values were?
My top 5 values were accountability, adaptability, vision, values, and commitment. So,
Oh,
and all
fantastic.
my values, all my leadership manifesto also revolved around that. And as a leader, when I have these qualities, how I'm going to lead others and see that these qualities also get imbibed in them, and we produce better leaders in future.
Fantastic, fantastic. Have you made a chart of all your values and put it up somewhere?
We have made a leadership manifesto, and we have mailed it to our mentor.
Okay, fine. But it's good to have like a vision board, create your own vision board. Have, as you progress, you can pick up from each session and put up, so that you know what you have done, because on week 5 or maybe week 8, you'll probably forget what you learned in week 2. So it's good to have a vision board where you put up, okay, week 1, this is what I learned, right? So make a small note of what you want. You can add art to it if you want to, put it up so that you know as you progress what you have learned. Yeah, so that's good. Okay, now
Thank you.
very, very good. Okay, accountability, responsibility, courage, empathy, and patience. Wow, I like patience. Okay, and then what else? Vision is where we want to go. Yes, and values are about who are we while getting there. Very important, very beautifully put. Thank you, Navya. Yeah, adaptability, and how can I need okay, now Bharadwaj, I would like you to elaborate a bit on that. Okay, because adaptability, what do you mean by that, and how do you compare connect it with emotional intelligence?
Yes, actually, let me
in my daily practice, how I am taking responsibility of every act which I am doing, whether it is personally or professionally, and how I need to develop my, because I am into sales, I am working as DGM sales, how I need to use my emotional intelligence with my team and my customers to balance the both balance and to create a balance between those both. I need to learn, I need to improve on my emotional intelligence, the way I need to convince my both customers and my internal team when there is some misalignments and other things. And taking the ownership of right from order picking to delivery, whatever the things are there. I am taking the I am taking the responsibility, and I am being accountable to each and every step between my team and my customer. So I want to improve after like coming after learning on the values and vision. I came to know that I need to work more on these things, and I'm working accordingly. From last 1 week, I'm trying to put all my learnings into my professional working space.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, that's one thing that we all want you to do. That's the purpose, right? But also have a way to reflect. Yeah. Do you journal?
I started.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. It's good to journal, because when you journal, you know, okay, sometimes, theory is one side, practice is one side. So the challenges that you come across, because when we deal with people, I don't think any class can give you 100% lesson on that, because everyone is different. Every situation is different. Yes, we can take some lessons from others, but journaling can help you to look back and also learn better. Okay, that's good. Okay, so anything else that has been missed out on the chat? Anyone wants to share anything else you think has been missed out in the chat? Kalyani, you want to say something?
Well, it's just you have to be true to yourself about your values and beliefs, while still maintaining that professional conduct and boundaries. So that is what I feel is the most important thing when you want to be a leader.
Yeah, that's right. Authenticity is the most difficult one. Also, why we say we want to be authentic and we want to be true to ourselves. Also, in the world where things are so different, trying to be authentic is the challenge for any leader. And you can see that around the world, right? How they struggle from being who they are. And suddenly, even, very clearly we can see in politics, because you may know someone as some XYZ, you think the person has got these values, and then once they go into leadership, they are totally different. We see that in Toastmasters as well. We see it at work as well. Okay, so because the struggle is, okay, this is my value system, but when I'm in a position, how do you manage those two? And that's where a lot of them struggle. It's not that they're trying to, I would still give, what do you call it? Give face to the person who's trying to do it, because I know when you're in leadership, a lot of challenges come. And how do you juggle between everything is where you learn. And then if you become stronger on your value system, then authenticity becomes natural to you and people start to accept you. Yeah, so that's well said. Thank you. Okay, so we have got some understanding, at least a recap of what you did the last 2 weeks. Now coming to, okay, we know values, we know vision. So how do we take it forward from here? And what are the practical challenges that we have? So today we are going to look at managing what matters. Okay, and we are looking at 2 aspects today. And the 2 aspects will be, okay, now the first one, what does this number mean to you? Anyone in the chat, or you can voice up? What does this number mean to you?
2:40
240 is what?
p.m.
No, okay. That was a good one. I love it. Okay, I will remember this.
Number
Okay.
of
The number of
Minutes in a day.
Total
Minutes
minutes
in a day.
Number of minutes in a day. Yes, that's right. Number of minutes in a day. But isn't it true that, all of us have this, right? This is a resource that is given equally to every one of us. None of us can claim and say, hey, I have 1 minute less than the other person. We can talk about the way we are born, where we are born, who we are, education, whatever, different things we can talk about. But one thing that is common across for all of us is what we have is time. Okay. And so time is equal for all of us. And then what comes next is what we are going to talk about is a balance. So in life, we need to learn balance, right? So we are going to look at energy. So what is energy? How does time and energy connect is what we are going to look at in the next 1 hour with some sort of an interaction. I would prefer it to be more interactive. So for those of you who are good at typing, you can go ahead and interact on the chat. But if someone likes to voice up, we are Toastmasters, so I'm okay for you to raise hand and then speak up, okay? That way we all can learn better as well. Okay, so that's the thing. So we will see on how to manage time and energy. For me, I look at time and energy as the two wheels of a cycle, right? You cannot go forward without any of the wheels. And you need both to function to keep the life going on. So time is finite. All of us have equal, but the impact depends on how we use it. Whereas energy is rechargeable. Okay, you can recharge your energy. Today, you're feeling tired, you can go and eat and physically recharge. You feel emotionally down, you can do some meditation or do some breathing exercises and pick up your energy. You're socially down, then you can see how to reconnect. Okay, so there are different ways to recharge your energy. Okay, but often, most of the time, what happens is we do not manage our time, energy well. So of course, time as well, we don't manage, but energy as well, we don't manage. So when both don't manage, then the problem is life doesn't get along as we would want to go. So let us look at time first. Okay, so when we look at time, I would like to have this discussion point. Okay, I have two pictures here. One is I have a bottle there with 3 items. One is there are pebbles, there are stones, and of course some sand. And how do we fill in the bottle for optimization? So I have 2 pictures here. So if anyone wants to speak on it, I would welcome you to unmute and speak. And what does this picture mean to you?
Hi, Swarna. I would like to speak about it.
Yeah. Hi, Karthik.
Hi. So basically, when I see this, there are 2 ways to look at this. So when we are focusing most of the time on our unwanted necessary things, that is what is the second picture depicts. So first we put the sand there, and then we actually, what is important, we actually look like a granule. Most important things are the bigger stones. For that, we don't have a space at all. So instead of that, what we need to do is, first we need to take the pebbles, bigger pebbles, put it into the jar. Then according to that, we have to take the granules and adjust it with the bottle. And also sand, we can actually fill it with little of a shake, and then that is very much required. So once we do that way, then we'll be in sync, and there'll be much of a balance there.
Okay, very good. Okay, so what is the connection with this picture to time?
prioritization.
Prioritization. Yes, that's right. Yeah. Barinder Singh, you want to say something?
Yeah, I just wanted to share. I used to do one exercise which was very similar. If you know, in inventory management, we do ABC analysis.
Yeah.
Whereas A category is the most important goods or the equipment we have in a factory, and C is the most small screws and nuts. So if you do ABC analysis of your time also, A becomes those tasks or activities which help us achieve our goals or the vision or the aim in our life. B are the important ones which we can't miss, but they don't help us in the goal. And C are all the other uh, activities we do in the life. So when I did a self audit for myself, for a couple of days, I saw 85% of my time was C categories. So similar, this picture
In the bottom.
depicts. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. It's good. Yeah, now that you talk about self-audit. Okay, how many of you did pre-work? Can I have show of hands? Pre-work done? Maybe heart? Can I see hearts? Okay. So pre-work done, yeah, very good, very good. Because there was a lot of information. I need to say thanks to Reenu here. She has been an amazing resource for me. She has taken time. Is she here? I can't see her here though. She has
Swarna,
been.
she's not here today.
Oh, okay. Yeah. She's been amazing how she put through, and we discussed so many. And of course, I had my view, she had her view. And then finally, we came up with this book, and it's very well done. So please don't forget to say thanks to Reno for that. Yeah, she's done an amazing job with that booklet. Lot of information, lot of follow-up that you can do, and also articles to read and things like that. So very well done. Okay. So please remember to thank Renu after this, to say thanks. We really appreciate the work that is done. Yeah, because appreciation is very, very important. Okay, now since you have done pre-work, now let's look at how we look at it. Yes, the rocks are the most important tasks. Okay, pebbles are the moderately important task, and then sand is the unimportant task. Now that we know this, right, in your day-to-day life, like today, can someone say, okay, what was your rock, what was your pebble, and what was the sand, and how much time did you spend on each? Anyone willing to share today's journey of time in terms of rock, pebbles, and sand?
Today I did vice versa.
Okay. So you spent a lot of time on reels?
More or less, yes.
Yeah, okay. Was it your day off or?
No, just I had. It's a kind of day off.
Okay.
I
Okay. Okay. So you spend most of that. Can
I
we
should have
say
been doing an
80%? Like,
assignment, so
yeah.
I still did not do it yet.
Wow. So you are being honest about not being able to do your pre-work. Okay. Okay. Anybody else who had a jumbled up here, rock, pebble, sand?
I have not like Yamuna here, and I would like to point out that I have not even touched on the point three, that is sand for today.
Wow. Okay. Let's
I
all give her a
because it was like a rock and a pebble day for me. I still do not have a time for third one today at all.
Okay, fine. Now, this is a question that I always find, like now we talk about life, right? In a day, normal day, we think that work is rock or pebble, and then the rest of it is sand, let's say, right? 9 to 5. I'm talking about 9 to 5. Now, in your 9 to 5, can you tell me where there anything that you did was a sand?
Could you repeat that again? Sorry.
No, on a work day, like means 9 to 5, your work timing. Okay. Can you identify and say, okay, I think this thing that I did, I spent 2 hours doing this, is actually sand and not rock or pebble?
Yeah. It's like this Ram Prasad.
Yes, Ram.
When is they say that unimportant task is like checking the email box. So checking your WhatsApp or whatever, nothing is there, but still you'll say, okay, someone might have sent. You know, it's not an urgent thing, or we can check it at the end of the day, but still have that thing. Okay, let's check that emails like that for every half an hour or something. Yeah.
Yeah. So that you know, right? Now you understand when you come talk about time management. We are not just talking about life as such, but also in a day-to-day work life, you know, when we are working, there are many instances where we do not really pay attention to the rock or the pebbles. Many a times what we do will be sand. Like for example, you will be roped into a meeting where you have no say, you have nothing to do, but you're just there in the meeting, sitting, wasting time, and then you lost 2 hours of your time. You know, you could have done something else, right? But then you were just pulled in, you know, it's important for us. The point I'm trying to drive is it's important for us to realize on a work timing also how many of our work duties that we supposed to be doing are really pebble, are really rock, or are they just sand? Okay, so that's something that I want you to reflect on. I think there is a reflection sheet in your page as well. Okay, so but then what happens was taking from there, we have actually 4 Ds of time management. Okay, so what are the 4 Ds? The first D is do what is important, right? Which is urgent and important. So that means we're taking in terms of priority and in terms of time. Okay, everything we're looking in terms of priority and time. So when we're doing that matrix, do is you have to do something that's urgent and it's also important. Then you defer something that schedule is important but not so urgent. For example, you gave the email example, right? Was it necessary to check email every half an hour? Right? So can it be deferred? Can we have a time to say, okay, this is the only time I'm going to check my emails, right? So do we do that? Okay. And then I will tell you why this is important also to look at when we go into energy management. It is connected in a way. And then we have delegate, where you say, okay, I don't need to do this. It can be done by someone else. And then, of course, delete is eliminate non-essential tasks and free up your time. Okay. On your work timing, it's good to take your work day, and on a typical work day, maybe it's a Monday, take a Friday, do a journal and see on a typical day, how do you really know which D is the task? Because that will give you an idea of how you are managing your time. Okay, based on this, Eisenhower Matrix is done. Okay, he has come up, drawn a matrix for in terms of task and time. And so the matrix is that if it is important and urgent, then you do it. If it is important, not so urgent, then you can decide or defer. Okay, then not important, then delegate. But it is, and then if it is not important and not urgent, of course, eliminate it or delete it. So the 4 Ds are, just to recap, I'm not going to show the screen, but can we just have someone say what is the 4 Ds?
Do, delegate, defer, and delete.
Do, defer, delegate.
Yes, that's right.
Delete.
Yes, that's right. So just to remember, the 4 Ds are important because they actually are the cornerstone of identifying how to manage time. Okay, so in this time awareness, right, as I said, if you have a bottle of pebbles and sand and rock, how do you manage? How do you know where is the time wasted? How do you look at what was spent well and what was invested well? So we can even look at it that way, right? Means when do we say invested? So now you're sitting here for 2 hours is this wasted? Is it spent well spent, or is it invested?
Invested.
Invested.
Yeah,
Solid
learning is
baby.
always invested. Okay, but actually, I would still say it is spent only when you put whatever you learn into action, it becomes invested. You understand what I'm trying to say? Okay, you can
100%.
learn a lot of things, but
Yes.
you close shop today, go back, forget everything, then it's like, okay, I read this book too. You can say, oh, I also know time management, but do you practice it? Oh, no, I don't practice it. Then it's not invested. Okay, so it's important for us to know whether we are investing on whatever we learn, are we taking it forward? So therefore, that's the thing. Okay, good to do it, journal it. I find that time management journaling is helpful. How many of you journal on a regular basis?
Just on and off.
Yeah,
On
do
and off.
regular.
On and off, yes.
Okay, how do you do it? Do you use apps? Do you use a paper and pencil? Or do you
Right.
do on a phone?
The journal book.
Right.
Oh, you have a journal book.
Yes.
Wow, that's very
Right.
nice. Okay, so that's a very serious type of journaling. Okay, for me, my journaling is all on my iPad. Because it's convenient, so I just put the on the notes, pick up a note, and I do my journaling, and that way I sort of wrap up my day. Okay, sometimes it may not be writing, it may be just bullet points, and say, okay, this is what went well, this didn't go well, and this is my learning, this is what I did, what I need to change and reflect, and whatever. I do that on a daily basis. I use my iPad to do it. Okay, so whatever is a practice, but it's good to do a reflection, because only then we know how to take it forward, because you could have a good day and you could have a bad day. So when you have a good day, you know what went well. When you have a bad day, you actually are having lessons on what you should not do. So both are important. Okay, while good days may energize you, bad days make you feel down. So it's important for you. Journaling really helps you to look back and see, what did I learn? So when you twist the bad experience into learning, then the energy shifts. You understand what I'm trying to say? So when you say, okay, oh, yeah, I had an accident, fine. What was my lesson from this accident? If it is a minor one, I know, oh, I have to pay attention to the road, okay? Maybe I just went too close and kissed the other car, and therefore I have damages and I have to pay my insurance, whatever, all those things, okay? But if it's a major one, then of course, I provided I'm still alive. But then what is the learning from that, right? Was I on the phone? Was I not paying attention on the road? You know, things like that. So what is the learning from there? It can happen at work as well. Something went well, project was done very well. What is it that you know? Okay, if you do X, Y, Z, then you follow that, then it becomes, it works well and it takes it forward. I would say LEAP 3.0 is a lesson learned well. Do you agree? Yeah. So LEAP 1 had an idea. Okay, this is how we are going to develop leaders. Then it worked well. They were able to identify leaders. They saw leaders grow in the district. Okay, so then they said, okay, let's take it forward to LEAP 2. And then maybe there are some learning points that they have tweaked. And then now LEAP 3 is that the basic model is still there, but it has having different new ideas coming in. But the basic structure, the idea is, okay, we are going to develop leaders in our district. So that is a lesson well learned. What can be a lesson that we failed? Anybody? It's a failure. So what lesson can we learn from there?
Learn what not to do.
Learn what not to do. But can you give an example from your life or from Toastmasters or from anything that you are doing? Anybody here who are ADs or going to be ADs or who were ADs before or club officers?
I never assume things. Assumption is suicidal is one of the root cause of failures.
Ah, very good. Very good. Very good. I think assumption is a root cause for bad miscommunication.
Yeah, we have a saying actually, Swarna. It says, assumption is the mother of all screw ups, necessity is the father of all inventions.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Good one. Good one. Yeah, you should put it in the chat so everyone can take it forward. Yeah, that's right. So we have. So what I'm saying is, we are never going to have a day when everything is perfect. We are going to have ups and downs, and that's how the world runs, right? We have both night and day, good and bad. Everything is going to be there. But how we manage life or take it forward positively with good energy is, when we are low, we need to take it forward as, okay, this was a bad time. Yes, it is very emotionally down, but what is it I can learn from here and take it and move forward? Okay, so when we shift that, then the energy shifts, and therefore we are able to manage things better. Now coming to energy audit, okay, which is the fuel for time. Okay. Now in your notes, did you learn what are the four energy audit points? Anybody? Does anyone speak? Yeah.
Physical, emotional, mental, and
And
spiritual.
spiritual. Okay, okay. Physical, yeah, those are the four. I'd like to do it because I do wellness as well. So I look at life on a more complete dimension. So I actually look at 5 dimensions, which are emotional, spiritual, physical, social, and intellectual. Okay, so why is social added? Okay, I'll tell you why social is added. Because we live in an interconnected world. You're not alone. You have a family, okay? You have friends, you have colleagues, and how they behave and how they treat you or how you treat them, all that will affect your energy. You agree or not? Right? You have a
100%.
problem. You have a problem at home. Your child is not well. You think you can perform well?
No.
Okay. No. Okay. Same thing. Whether it's family, it's friends, something happened, then you cannot. So that's why I would say that social is also an important dimension. Okay. But let's look at it. Physical is basically how do you use your energy physically? Do you eat well? Do you nourish yourself well? Do you drink water well? Do you sleep? Okay. In my club, I have a doctor, and she always tells this. She uses this acronym. She says, Swarna, very important for physical energy, is SEX. Okay. Now we will think, oh, okay, did she mean sex? No. What she meant was sleep. Okay, sleep is very, very important. Okay, and the E is eat the right food, and X is exercise. So when we have this good combination, then our physical well-being is kept well. So our energies are good. Okay, so a good way to remember is, am I sleeping well? How many of you sleep at least 6 to 7, 8 hours? Wow, good, 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 good. That's important, okay? Because we know that many a times, at least I have seen, in Singapore, I have seen so many of them, very, very hardworking. Singapore is, we have a lot of bankers, and bankers, high stressful job and things like that. They are working late, they come back, and sometimes they're working different time zones and things like that. So sleep is missing, but then they go and exercise. Then their eating habits are not very good, but then they keep exercise. And I know so many of them. I mean, the recent few years, 3-5 years, I have seen people just collapse while running or collapse while walking. They are trying to do exercise, but then what they have not taken care of is, did I sleep well? Did I give enough nutrition to my body? Because we think exercise is important, so therefore we will exercise, but we don't pay attention to the others. So physical well-being is very, very important. So you need to ask yourself, am I sleeping enough, or does my body feel well before you do anything? If you're not, we should learn to say, okay, my body needs sleep and I'm going to sleep. My body needs to eat, I need to eat. How many of you miss your lunch because of some project work?
I used to do that, but not anymore. Now consciously I make it a point to
Okay, okay. Let me share this with you all. Okay, I always tell this because I find that, you know, in Singapore, I'm giving you a Singapore example. Okay, Singapore, we are a multiracial society, and then of course we have a very sizable Indian population, and Indians by nature we are workaholic. Okay, so by nature, you cannot take that out. You know, whether you were born in Singapore or you come from India or whatever, you are workaholic, because our culture somehow, the generation after generation teaches us to be like, oh, you have to work to earn your money. You have to do that, right? So we are workaholic. And then when it comes to work, and then you will always see that lunchtime, when it's lunchtime, right? I'll observe this and see how many of them really are there in the food court. And you will very rarely find Indians sitting at lunchtime in a food court. Chinese also are workaholics, okay? And they're very, very business oriented. But one thing that I have observed in them is they will time themselves, okay? Morning breakfast, they have to have. They have to have something at tea. They should have lunch. They should have the thing. 6 o'clock dinner, 8 o'clock supper. They're very, very particular. Most of them, I have seldom seen people who will skip a meal. You know what they will say? Okay, if you're in between a discussion, let's say I'm having a discussion with my Chinese client and it became 12:30. You know what they will say? He will say, oh, Swarna, come, let's go down to the food court. We can continue our conversation there, but let's go and eat. Okay, whereas we don't have that habit. We feel, why, if we say, then what will they think? Will they think that we are thing about food or what? You know, so we want to finish something before we go. Okay, so it's just a mindset. The reason I'm sharing this with you is, look at your mindset. Okay, do you feel that it is you're asking for too much if you say, I have to have my meals at the right time? Okay, learn to draw those boundaries, right? We call it boundaries, to say, okay, you should know that it's important for me. Health is important. And I believe that if I'm healthy and well and happy and whatever, only then I can perform. So therefore, I need to have these things. So if you set those boundaries well with your employers, I think we can do. But the problem is we don't do most of the time. So we need to learn to do that. And it's not our fault. I think it's just culturally we think differently, you know. But it's a good thing to turn around, because we are in a very competitive world and health is important. Okay. Now coming to emotional. Okay, is basically how do we manage stress? Okay, and do you surround yourselves with positive interactions or bounce back from challenges? Is something that we have to ask. Okay, so when you have a challenging situation, as I said, do we reflect and say, okay, this is a lesson learned and move on, or we get stuck there, you know? And when you get stuck there, you're not able to move, so therefore your energy is down. I don't like this place, you know. I had such a bad experience with this manager. I don't like him at all, and he's cannot take it all. I cannot work with him at all. Or you change your minds, never mind, that project is done and dusted. Let me see how I can manage him from the next one. You know, do we learn like that? Do we change our perspective? Okay, and they say change your perspective, change your life, right? So if you change your perspective, how we change it, life also changes. If you keep doing the same thing again and again, it is impossible to find new results, right? You agree? Yeah, I'm doing the same thing again and again and again, and then I say, why is the results not there? The results are not there because first time was a failure. You're doing the same thing. You're again is going to be a failure. You're not changing it. Until you change the way you do it, it's not going to change the results. So you need to change that. So emotional audit is asking yourself, am I able to pick up and move on? Do I fall forward? You understand fall forward? Means I may fall, but I'm falling forward means I'm moving ahead and I'm just moving from there. Yeah. Any doubts so far? Any clarifications? Okay. Now coming to mental, okay. Now the question is, how do I focus? How do I get clarity? And then what do I do? How do I get the priorities right? Okay. Anybody here who practices wellness programs, maybe yoga, maybe meditation, maybe breathing, anything?
Yes, breathing
Yes,
meditation.
meditation, yoga.
Yeah. So you want to share how does it help you?
It calms me down.
Pardon me?
It calms me down.
It calms you down. Yeah. At that moment when you're feeling it's anxious, you're feeling agitated and things like that, breathing just shifts the energy, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And then meditation also, just taking calm, quiet place.
Yes,
And
and whole day is like a very balanced day kind of a thing.
yeah, that's right.
Keeps us energetic always. Yoga keeps us energetic and it helps to bring back the focus in case of
very good.
anxiety.
Does anyone practice mind mapping and things like that?
I have a history of using mind maps for learning the concepts that was taught to me during my program of studies.
Okay. Because that also helps you to focus, right? And then you're able to identify where
Helped
you
me-
need to focus. Yeah.
It helped me break down an entire chapter into one page, so it
Yeah.
got a lot of things running for me that way.
Yeah. Mind maps. Mind maps are also good for bringing clarity.
Actually, I'm very bad at using penning down some of the things. So when I learn something, I try to link it to some simple thing. For example, okay, and right now I'm performing the nutrition diploma course, and if they show the digestive system, I just assume the small intestines as Maggie.
That's a good one. Okay, so now next time I look at the Maggi noodles, I'm going to remember your small intestine, okay? It's just that I'm vegetarian, so I hope I can still eat it. Okay, good one. Okay, now coming to spiritual, okay, purpose, value, meaning, alignment. Like you said, you learned about values and vision last thing is basically to look at purpose and why we are doing what we are doing, right? Sometimes you may be in a workplace that is not aligned with your purpose. So what do you do with it? Do you stick on and let the energy be feel depleted, or do you move on and say, never mind, this doesn't align with me, I have to just move on? So do you do that, or do you know how to manage it? So those are the questions when it comes to spiritual. Okay, so do you have a daily activity which adds in your values, so that you keep reminding yourself? Now if you say authenticity, or if you say this is my value, okay, so do you practice it on a daily basis? Do you have a way to track and say, okay, at this event happened, this is how I took action, and this is the reason why I took action? So you know why it is, because you need to know what is your value system and what is the purpose. Now coming to the social, as I said, often very, very overlooked, but it's very vital, is because relationships, network, sense of belonging is a human trait. Okay, Aristotle said that humans are social animal, right? So we need this collective. That's why we are in Toastmasters, because Toastmasters is one of the most beautiful networks of people where we come together, like-minded people come together, and we learn together. Very, very safe place, right? So that is how humans are. So how do you do? Do you nurture relationships that energize you, or do you set boundaries? Okay, very important is setting boundaries. Sometimes we struggle with boundaries, whether it is with your spouse, whether it's with your parents, whether it's with your children, or even with your colleagues, friends. Everywhere we struggle to set boundaries, because when we start giving, then the boundaries keep expanding, and then at some point you feel overwhelmed. Okay, I find in Toastmasters context, I can give you is For example, let's say you like to help and people know that you help. And then someone says, hey, can you come and help me in my club for this role? And then someone else asks you something. And then you are exhausted doing clubbing from one club to another, doing roles, helping people. Is that something that nurtures you, or is it something that's draining you? Okay, it's important for us to know. Because I do know a lot of people go overwhelmed at some point, and then suddenly they say, oh, I can't take it anymore. I'm so stressed, because they did not draw those boundaries. They did not learn to say no. Okay, so when you learn, I have gone through it myself, when people ask, okay, now contest season, you're also having contests now, the first half. Yeah, so contest season, so many of them asking, oh, can you be judge? Oh, can you do this role? Can you do that role? So many. And almost every weekend there's a contest happening. So do I agree to those roles every weekend? Or should I say no? I will do maybe once per month or two per month, things like that. So learning to draw those boundaries is important. And it's very, very important because social energy is the one which drains most of us. And it affects the rest of it as well. Okay, if you're socially drained, your mental capacity is lost. Okay, your physical capacity can be affected. Yeah, emotional capacity can be affected. So it affects everything. Okay, so remember, please be careful about boundaries. Learn to energize yourself and be in a company that nurtures you and not really in something that will drain you out. Okay, when I look at time and when I look at energy, I particularly like the 80-20 rule. Okay, have you heard of the 80-20 rule or the Pareto's principle? Yeah, very beautiful. Okay, please, you can use it in anything that you want. Okay, whether it is in sales, whether it's in time management, whether it's in doing some work, anything, everywhere you will definitely be able to use the 80-20 rule. Okay, I can share this. We did not include this in the notes. But then I told Renu that I believe this is important because it actually bridges both time and energy management very well. What it's trying to say is that you look at what you're doing. Okay, what task is this task and what is the result it's going to give. So you manage your energy and time well so that you concentrate on something that will give you the maximum result. Okay, so suppose you're working on a project. Does this project, how long does it take? Okay, and what can it give you versus another one where it takes more time but gives you lesser results. Okay, so you have to choose which one. So you do the 80-20. And it's been found that most of the time, any project that has, when the effort is only 20%, can give 80%. Okay, it can be clients. For example, you have clients, right? You can look at your clients and say, which client gives me the maximum business? Most of the time, it will be 20% of your clients. Okay, and those 20% is where you need to concentrate. Okay, so that is how you do. Where it could be projects, it could be personal, on a personal side as well. Okay, so I have listed, this is a nice sheet that I found. So I will share it with Jyoti, and she can probably share it with all of you, is how 80-20 is used in different aspects of companies as well, in marketing, in sales, in logistics, okay, human resources, technical department or risk management, everywhere this 80-20 rule is done. And also there are examples of how you can use it on a daily basis. So just remember, if you don't know exactly what it is, but when you have two things in your hand, you see which one will give you better results and do that first. That's what it means. Okay, so did you all read this article? How many of you read this article? Who's got the monkey? Did anyone read the article?
Yes, I just started through. It was nice. The metaphor was really nice. I was able to imagine how the monkey was jumping from one pack to the other's pack and what is really causing the problem and how should we manage it in day-to-day conversation.
Yeah. Okay. In this, how many of you are leaders? I mean, you have a team to manage and... Yeah, okay. So do you take the monkey on your shoulders?
At times we have to, yeah.
Ah, okay. At times we have to is a different thing. At times, do you take it on your own? Okay, it's very common. It's very, very common. The other word that I would say is, I see it a lot in organization is, leaders become so used to, I'll tell you what is happening. There's a mindset behind this actually. You are an individual contributor. You do very well, right? And then you are made a team lead. Okay, that's how the progress is in any corporate, right? This is how the progress is. How do they decide you are going to be a team lead? Because you did well as an individual contributor. And they say, okay, you can lead a team of 10 people, let's say. Okay, now your 10 people who you have may not be definitely not as good as you, for sure, right? That's why you were made a team lead and they are not made. You get what I'm trying to say? Okay, they may not be at the same level as you are. So what happens is that when you become a lead and you're supposed to get something executed, you find that the team, one is you find that the team is not in the same mindset as you are. Meaning that, oh, do X, Y, Z, then you will get the result. But maybe the team does it differently. Okay, the team members do it differently, and therefore the result is not there. Okay, so what happens is, by nature we become impatient. So when someone in the team you say, okay, I want this executed, and then someone in the team says, oh, I don't understand how it's done. So most of the time what happens is, especially new managers or new team leaders get into this habit of saying, okay, never mind, I will do it. And that's how they carry the monkey on their shoulder. They do it once, they do it twice, and it becomes a habit. Because they are capable, right? So they are able. But what happens is, as you grow up the ladder, your responsibility becomes more. And how much can you carry? How many monkeys can you carry? And that's where the problem comes. You get what I'm trying to say? Yeah. So that is what this article is about how people take responsibilities that are not theirs. Okay. So in your day-to-day activity, have you identified, are you carrying others' monkeys?
Yes, carrying.
Yeah. Yeah. So is there something that you can do about it? Yes. Okay. Ashima.
Uh, I, is processing setting up a process not helps getting off the burden or probably solving a problem?
I didn't quite understand what you were asking.
I'm not asking, I'm trying to suggest is setting up the processes like say you said system imposed time or self-imposed time, dictionary discretionary time. If we set up a process in each and every role or probably in the delegation of the activity or delegation of the mm, assignment of the work, then we are trying to solve a problem. I mean, then everybody is a part and they know how to get onto one step to another or one process to another.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Having a process in place. But what happens in real life, I'm talking about this. This is what I understand from all my leadership coaching is that many a times what happens is when someone is in a leadership role, they don't get much time to acclimatize to the team members, get the processes in place, get time with them to say, this is how I want work to be done. Those things, there is no time. We are in a very fast-paced world, so highly competitive, right? It's become so competitive. I don't blame people, but I blame how business has become, okay? And because of that, there's a lot of toxicity. There's a lot of, there's a fear that if I don't do it or my team doesn't do it on time, then I may be asked to go, things like that. So there is no time. So that's where the problem comes, is that I've been given this responsibility. I don't have the time to do that process. Okay. And where leadership really comes is to know how to buy time from the management. Many a times people are afraid to ask. Can anybody relate to it? I know Bharadwaj said he has monkeys on his shoulders. So is it because you don't ask or you got into the habit?
No. It is like we have to work to satisfy my customer and deliver the product on time. And we had a different teams. I come from a sales team. Will be a production team. There will be a quality team. What happens at one point of time is at the time of dispatches, nobody want to keep the ball in their court. They just want to keep it away from them so that the monkey will not be with them. So ultimately at the end, how it will become is sales team has not supported with the drawing. Sales team has not got the customer approval on time. Sales team has not given the approval for starting for manufacturing of the product. Everything will comes to the sales team. So always the monkey will be with the sales team only. And at the end of the day, when the customer, when I'm keeping the pressure on the team, and as per the system, we are asking them to work as per the systems and process which we have already laid down. But still, people at one point of time they'll try to bypass that to get convinced to get satisfied with the work which they have done, which may not be satisfied with the management. But people who are working down the line, they'll be thinking that yes, if I don't do this also, the management will allocate this to someone else, and the work will be completed at one point of time. But the responsibility and the accountability, what I said earlier, has to be taken by each and every person of the team. Then only the monkeys will not be with anyone. The monkey will be flying away to the customer place. Otherwise, it will be always there with the team only.
Yeah. There are different scenarios there, but do you think there is any way you can sort of bring all of them in line? Is there a time where you can say, okay, this is what we are going to follow. Let us not keep pushing back. Can we work together and make
Yes.
sure that ultimately the customers, we need to deliver, and so this is what we want. It's not about taking the blame, or it's not about taking the monkey on, but to take the whole process together. And
We have
and
done that.
sometimes I've been in sales, and I can tell you sometimes we just have a document to hand over because we are so busy, right? So we don't hand over the document and we think it's done. And then when they receive the document, they don't understand a head or tail of it. And then they sit
They
on
come
it
back to us.
because they don't understand. So maybe we need to communicate. And as Toastmasters, maybe that's what we need to do, make a difference in transferring the monkey to the right person.
Actually, in August, we had that bad experience in one of the project, so which we have corrected way further. And now one more project which is executing on a fast pace, and on 24th it is delivery. By God's grace, everything is online as of now, and we
Okay.
want to deliver the complete product by 24th of this month. Everything is online. Because of that old experiences, we have streamlined some things, and we have dedicatedly asked some people to work on that, and we have defined the roles and responsibilities of the people more clearly and make them understand what they need to do once the project has come to their place. And after that project, now yes, it is a bit streamlined. I'm waiting for 24 to see the complete result of what we have
Okay, all
implemented.
the best, all the best. Yes, we have a couple of them raised hands. Srinidhi.
Yeah, thanks. One scenario I want to know what you suggest on that, right? We have back-to-back tasks, back-to-back meeting. Let us say the first meeting went very bad. You're in a very bad mood. How do you refresh yourself for the next meeting, because you don't want the negativity of the previous one to carry forward?
Okay, you mean with the client?
In any situation, right?
Okay.
Whatever happened previous, you have to clear it up and fresh start.
Okay. Okay. You should understand there are a few elements at place when you talk about this, right? One is, if you just look at it from the business point of view, we can say, oh, do X, Y, Z. Okay. But when you involve people, then it involves people's egos, right? And also what what came out of the previous one, and how did it cause a lot of animosity? Did it cause a lot of issues, that you don't want to go back to that person, so many things can be there. It's not a straightforward answer for you, but I can say that many a times it's just that we have to bite the bullet and have a conversation. Because when we go back and say, okay, sorry, what happened is happened. Okay, can we at least not let this happen again? Okay, so can we work together and see how we don't repeat the situation of last, the bitterness of the last experience to carry forward. But what happens is that there can be egos involved there. You agree to that? Yeah. You may want to talk, the other person may not want to talk, so that those are the things that could be there, which will just take more than just a conversation. It may take something more than that. So it really depends on the specific person, individual, and how to manage it. But conversations, I can tell you, is a way to take it forward. Just sideline on something that I learned and I practice, and I find this to be very effective, is when we talk about communication, right? We connect with people at 3 different levels. Anyone knows which levels we connect at? Have you all heard about it? Parent level, child, something like. Oh, no. On a one-to-one, like how do I connect with you, right? Of course, now I am online, okay? So how do I connect with you? The first connection happens when we look at the person in the eye. Okay, so that's the first connection. What happens is we're connecting with the mind, because the eye is the index to the mind. Okay, and we bring that person in. Okay, second is, if we are physically in space, then we can physically connect, means give a handshake, say hello, whatever, right? We smile and things like that is a physical connection. And the third is on the emotional or the intellectual level, because humans are intellectual beings. And one thing different from the rest of the animals is that we have emotions. So how do we connect? And so his question is, you need to connect on that emotional level. And when you do that, how do you do that will depend on who the person is. So when you go in, or a team, it can be a team, it could be a person, it could be whatever. When we connect with the person on the emotional level, then we are able to, this technique is called, it's a NLP technique called as BMI, which is body, mind, and intellect. So when we connect on 3 levels, the connection is supposed to be very effective. So if any one is missing, right, then our connection doesn't work well.
But Swarna,
Yeah.
sorry, Jyotika here. If I understood right, his question was, when he moves from one meeting to the other back to back, so if there's a toxic meeting that has taken place and he's already upset, how can he recalibrate his mind so that the next meeting takes place properly? I think that's what he asked. Srinidhi, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that what he asked? Sorry.
Yes.
Srinidhi, is that what you asked?
Yes. Thank you.
Oh, so sorry. Okay. Yeah, this one is, you will have to engage yourself on an emotional level, right? So you need to have techniques to probably take time off, breathing techniques, or even short, maybe meditation, whatever works well. Go out, look at green. Green is supposed to help us get over the toxicity. Basically, we need to switch ourselves. What you're asking is, how do I switch in and off between 2 meetings? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes.
Okay, Srinidhi, I'm so sorry I didn't understand it correctly. So what I would say is, what I would do when we do is, of course, it's going to affect you, but you need to have some techniques of switching off, because this is energy management. So how do we do it is, we have to see if you have a technique of, I find breathing to be extremely good. I find just taking a walk outside, looking at greenery helps, because green is supposed to clear a lot of energy, negative energy from our body. Okay, so you can do that. Drinking water helps. Okay, so these are few things that you can do to sort of snap out. You may not be able to snap out fully, but at least you will be in a better position to go to the next meeting.
Okay.
Did it help?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Jyotika, for helping me on that. Yeah.
You're
Okay.
Swarna, on that line, I have one more question. So, okay, there are places, there are techniques where we really subside that hardship and then recalibrate and then we grasp the energy and go. So meditation, as how you say, like some deep breaths helps us. But recently, like I practice meditation, something very great that you have been aspiring for. Suppose if it happens, so again, after that, my mind keeps on going, keeps on recollecting towards the same incident, but I want to get out of that and move towards the next activity. In that case, even like usually I practice meditation for 30 minutes, but today it took 1 hour. So how to jump out of that very happiest incident and then focus on the next?
Okay, so it's like, how do I get over an addiction, It's almost like that, right? Because you had a very good moment, and so you want to go back to that moment, right? It's almost like an addiction. That's what drinkers do, that's what smokers do, and things like that, because when they feel that lightness in them, they want to continue doing it, and that's how addiction happens. Okay, for this is again snapping. Okay, there is a technique I mean, if you can, you go and check out, there are a lot of NLP techniques. Okay, because what you're talking about is how we program our mind. Okay, so neuro linguistic programming has a lot of techniques to snap out and snap in.
So I just want to tell you all here, sorry, this is Jyotika again, and I'm sorry to jump in here. So we allow Swarna to stick to what her curriculum is that the next session that we'll be having, the next live training session is on growth mindset. All right, so we will be covering this, how leaders can change their mindset, and we will be having another gentleman will be coming here and helping you all to reframe your thoughts. Does that help? All right.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay, so basically, if you're looking at subordinates, if you're working in a team, then you please learn what you need to know is taking responsibility, taking accountability is important. But at the same time, if you're managers, then you need to know how to draw boundaries. You need to know how to say no, and then give your team members the chance to experiment, to fail, to come back. If you give them the confidence and say it's fine, you can do it, then probably they will take the monkey on their shoulders. Okay, most of the time people don't want to take the monkey on their shoulders because they don't want to take the blame. So it's basically, you need to give them that assurance to say, hey, it's fine. You try it out. If it doesn't work, it's fine. At least I know you've tried, then I will step in. But you please try out, okay? Or what you want to do, you let us know. So that way you're giving them, empowering them to take the decision. So the basically what this article was written in 1974. Okay, it's almost 50 years old. And now the model has changed in how leadership is, but many a times we still find that micromanaging or carrying the monkeys is happening everywhere. So basically, reminder to all you leaders is, please learn to take responsibility only when required. If not, learn to delegate. Okay, so delegation is a skill. Learn on delegating. Okay, delegation is an entire topic by itself, but just to give you a gist is, some of them need hand holding, some of them just need to show the way, and some of them just need you to give them assurance and say, it's fine, you try, I'm there, I will support you. And the moment you give them that empowerment, they will start moving. So learning to delegate is an important skill, and learn that way you will be able to manage your energy well. Okay, now I have 2 case studies. After this, we will come to a conclusion. Am I over time, Jyotika?
No, Swarna. You have time till 9:30.
Okay. So basically, this is, I know you're a mixed group here. So I have a question for all of you. Here we have an example. So does anyone want to read it out? So for those of them who are not seeing the screen can understand. Anybody wants to read it out?
Sure, I can do it.
Yeah, Karthik.
Fine. So the background is Aisha is a marketing executive in her late 20s. She's enthusiastic about her work, but often finds herself overwhelmed. Her calendar is packed with meetings, and she spends a lot of time responding to emails and ad hoc requests. She loves learning and wants to build her credibility with senior leaders, but struggles to crave out time for deep work. Challenges. Time is mostly spent reacting, like email, calls, or requests, rather than invested in growth. She often works late nights to catch up, leaving her drained. Energy dips in the afternoon, but she still schedules her most complex tasks then.
So anybody like this in this group? Do you face challenges like this? Yeah. Okay, I see a raised hand here. Yeah, it's yes, Warren. Yeah, many of us. I mean, we this is not unique case. I'm sure all of us have gone through it. If you're a leader now, probably you've gone through it. Okay, so what it's talking about is one is managing time, and the other one is managing energy. Okay, so my question here is we can use the chat to do it so that all of us can participate, and then maybe one or two of you can unmute and reply. Okay, so my question here is, what time management strategies can Aisha use to protect space for her growth priorities, and how should she align her work with her peak energy hours? Which of her tasks would be delegated, deferred, or eliminated? So can I have the first question? What time management strategy do you think can work for her? Yeah, use Pareto's principle. Yeah, yeah. That's a good start. Definitely a good start. Okay, 80-20 rule. Okay.
You can use the Eisenhower matrix.
Yes. Eisenhower Matrix is a good start as well. It's a good one as well. So she can just put in her tasks and see which one is important, which is urgent, which is not, and which can be delegated, which can be deferred, and which can be deleted, right, or eliminated. So she can use the 4Ds, right, or Eisenhower Matrix to do the okay, so that's the thing. Now the second question is, how could she align her work with her peak energy hours?
So prioritizing to the 2 or 3 tasks and having most complex tasks in the morning,
Yeah,
which require the more thought process to be involved. So
yeah,
when the energy is high.
yeah.
See, practically in a day, you can do only 3 to maximum 4 tasks. So that prioritization is very necessary.
Okay. And also we know here it clearly says that she dips at the afternoon. Okay. There are different people who work different styles. Some of them are slow in the morning, then they pick up in the afternoon. Some of them are good in the morning and slow down in the afternoon. So depending on what your energy model is, you should know, do the peak ones when your energy is high. In this case, it says specifically that her energy is low in the afternoons. So it doesn't make sense to go and put your important meetings in the afternoons, because anyway, your energy is low, right? You're feeling low, you're not so up and going. So therefore, your output is going to be lower, because if you look at the effort versus results, right? So if you're going to put in your effort in something that is going to take a lot more effort, then your results are going to be less. Okay. Again, it's a reverse of Pareto's principle, but 80-20 rules apply there as well. Okay. So it's important for you to know what time do I do what task. Of course, the 4D model, looking at it, as a learning, I would suggest maybe from today onwards, if you have not done it already, try and see in the morning when you look at your calendar, look at it and see whether you can identify which of the D's are you doing, and is that important, or is it urgent, and then try and put it into the matrix and see and take it forward and see whether it helps your day better. and see whether you have more time or less time, or it's confusing, or you get into more problems, or how is your energy managed. Those are the things should be the takeaway, because once you know it, you have to apply it and see which one works well. Okay, so that's something here for this example. Okay, now let's look at the second example, where this is a leader of the team. Okay, can I invite someone to read it out for me? I think Bharadwaj wanted to read last time, right?
Okay, I'm reading. The case study 2, the manager leader with team. Background: David is a mid-level manager leading a team of 6 in a tech company. His days are filled with back-to-back meetings. He feels like he is firefighting most of the time. He rarely gets to focus on strategy or coaching his team. By the end of the week, he feels drained and disengaged. His team often waits for his inputs before moving forward, slowing progress. Challenges: time is consumed by urgent tactical issues, quadrant 1 and 2 of Eisenhower Matrix. Little time is invested in important, not urgent work, quadrant 2, strategy coaching. His low energy creates stress in the team culture.
Okay. Is this common? Very common, right? Very, very common. Yeah. Because we are trying to firefight. Okay. I guess tech companies are very famous for this. I've seen many of the leaders in tech companies who always complain, and they say, oh, we have no time for anything. I'm literally working, instead of 8 hours, I'm working 15 hours, 16 hours, 17 hours, and still can't get work done. So this is very, very common. Okay. Now, my question is, okay, what task could David delegate to empower his team? How can he reframe his belief that only I can solve these issues? And what energy renewal practices can he adopt to set a positive tone for the team? So, do you want to go on the chat to answer? Maybe the first one? Yeah, but can you elaborate a bit, Nitin? When you say he has to learn the art, so what do you think he needs to learn?
He should nurture the team to allow each of them to become leaders on their own and take decisions which are not very critical in nature, which doesn't affect the company policies, but simple small time day-to-day activities. All those decisions can be taken by the team, so he has to nurture leadership within the team members themselves. So in that cases, he doesn't have to firefight in most of the cases, and they don't have to wait for his ultimate go ahead and decisions.
Yeah, yeah. But can you guess why many a times we don't delegate?
Fear that we don't have faith in our team.
Yes, there's no faith. So the first step is, while you do mention to empower, the first step is to build trust. Very, very important. Okay, you need to build trust with your team members. Find ways to engage them, to learn to trust them as well. They should trust you, you should trust them, right? Only then you can confidently say, okay, I give this work to this person, he or she will get it done, right? And not sabotage you. Things happen. We have to be realistic here. But the first step is to trust. You trust the person, they trust you. So you need to work on, as leader, the first step is to build that trust. Okay, they should know that they have your support. You should know that they will work for you as a team. Then the nurturing and everything will follow, and then of course we can delegate, we can do everything. Yeah, so good examples. Yeah, so that is the thing. Basically, get over the insecurities that we may have, okay, and learn to trust, and then take it forward from there. Yeah. And how do you think he can what practices do you think he can adopt to set the positive tones for the team? Build a safe environment. I know it's very important. How many of you feel your workplace is a good, safe environment? Years ago, yeah, I mean, it's, if I tell the years ago, then probably you'll guess my age. But, but when I was working in India and as a young engineer, trying to do work after 5, yeah, and then I was sitting at my table, and then my branch manager, our MD came to meet the branch manager. And then they went in for a meeting. I saw them enter, but I was at my table doing something. And then when they came out, my branch manager saw me sitting there. And then he mentioned to the MD, and he said, "Oh, she's the new engineer who has joined us." Okay. And it was special because I was the only lady in that whole team of engineers. So he was like, "Oh, she's the only one here," and things like that, he said. And then the MD just nodded his head, and then he said, our branch manager was trying to build up a story for me, and she's, "Oh, very smart girl. She does a lot of things, very hardworking and all that, you know." And then the MD interrupted, and he said, if there's one thing I want to tell you, Swarna," he said, "working after 5 is nothing smart." Okay, if you're working after 5 and everyone is gone, you're working, it's nothing to be smart about. Okay, so try and see how you can become a smart person, is what he told, and I was like, wow. But then it was a very safe place for me, right? I knew that from the MD downwards, everyone respected our time, respected that, okay, at this time you have to go back home. Why are you sitting here? Is what was his concern, right? So having a safe working environment is very important, because a lot of time we learn and grow in a safe environment. If you don't have it, sometimes it becomes a bit of a problem. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, nice chart. Okay. Uh, it's a bit too small for me, but it looks like how to manage. Oh, nice, nice. Thanks for sharing this. Yeah, different leadership styles, about supporting behaviors and directive behaviors. How do we direct and how do we support? Yeah, very good. Yeah. Coaching is where most of the time challenges, because most of the time, I can tell you, most of the time we find that we are either in the delegating, maybe delegating, but mostly supporting, directing quarters, the quadrants, more than S2, which is the coaching. Okay. But learning to shift to coaching or delegating is where our skill of leadership comes in. So learn to do that, and I'm sure you can take it forward from there. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for sharing this. Okay. So now let's go on to our, so any doubts so far? Anything that you all want to share or ask?
So you talked about carrying the monkey on your back, Swarna, but there are situations where you will have to intervene to, get certain things moving, right? As a leader, you have to step in. It could be for a temporary period, you're carrying it and then you're putting it back. So I presume, that should be a right of.
It depends on what you're doing. It can still be delegating. But it can be that you handhold the person with you, in the sense that you don't do everything yourself. You show them how to do it. You just say, okay, this is how it should be done. So I'll show you, you watch it, and then, or maybe you want to try it out. You do a portion, you tell, and see whether they do. Some of them need hand holding. Definitely some of them need hand holding. So you can still, I won't say you're carrying the monkey at that point. It's learning to delegate in a better way. And every person has a different way to delegate. Some of them are very quick in learning, some of them are not. So as a leader, we should be able to identify who is what in our team, and how do we prioritize work with them as well, right? If you find someone needs a lot of time to handhold, you cannot give them a very important job, because then you will be stressed and you will be carrying the monkey. Okay, so that's the thing. Did it answer your question?
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, Ashima.
I have a question. How can we analyze our energy levels in the sense, you say there are people who have morning, they're like filled with the energy in the morning, and there are people who are productive in second half. So is it like that daily do we analyze, or it's kind of
For me, I would say it's a very personal habits that makes it going. Like if there are people who wake up late, right? Then if they have the habit of waking up late, then what happens is their mornings are slower because they probably need time to do a few things before they become energized. But if you're an early bird, right, you get up early and you start do whatever you have to do, you've done, then your energy when you're going at work at 9, you're like full of energy and you say, oh, let me go. So it's a very personal thing. So for you will be able to identify when are you more productive, right? If you feel that you're productive in the daytime, then that's where your energy is high. Right? When something is given, you're able to snap it out like that and move, then that means that's when your energy is high. Yeah.
Swarna, can we say as like face is the index of the mind, behavior and physiology is the index of the energy?
Yeah, that's also true.
So most of the time, if your body and your mind is not in alignment, you don't really have a resourceful outcome from whatever you're doing, be it even making a cup of coffee. Whereas if you're a late bloomer, if you're a late riser also, the noon lunch, if you're able to make it with the optimum energy, that means you're good to work till late hours in the night also.
Yes, that's
So
right. That's right.
different cycles of the body, different patterns of the energy.
Yeah, that's right. So it is a combination of physical and emotional. It's a combination of both, right? If you're not energized, energy comes to us first in the physical form, right? So if you have you had enough food to eat? Did you have you had enough? Are you well hydrated? All those things also matter. Do you feel clean? Sometimes those are the things also make you feel good. Like did you have a shower? Did you have a nice wash? Do you feel yourself clean? All those things also matter. 2 days back, I was not in the best of my moods. One of my close friends had passed away, so and I was like, what do I do? What do I do? I need to snap out of this, right? So I went and I got dressed up. And my son was looking at me. He said, what's wrong with you? And I was just going grocery shopping and he saw me dressed up and he said, why? I said, no, I'm just shifting my energy because I want a good dress. You feel nice. And so, I'm just changing that mindset, right? So when you go out and people look at you and smile and whatever, right? I wanted that energy to shift in me. So I just dressed up well and then it helped, although at the back of my mind, that memory was there, but at least at that moment, a few hours later, I was feeling much better. Okay. So these are some of the other rules that you can do. Okay, so if you're having tasks, okay, there's this thing called as a 2-minute rule. If the task takes less than 2 minutes to do, then do it off. Okay, I think it's also procrastination. The Brian Tracy's book, which calls Eat the Frog, talks about eating something that is quickly done, right? Eat that first so that you feel you've accomplished something. If not, you're sitting on a big thing and it doesn't get done and it demotivates you and you say, oh my god, I was sitting on the whole thing today and didn't do anything at all. So you can do short things that can finish, then it sort of prevents procrastination. Yes, Pradyuman.
Ma'am, so we prioritize the tasks and list them out and time to time. But what if, okay, usually maybe beginners like me who wants to list out the tasks throughout the day and try to achieve them time to time. Sometimes even if we will find tougher to follow that journal in the first place. So how to get used to it? I mean, what if we don't feel like following that particular schedule?
Okay. What do you feel like not following a particular schedule? Okay, let me ask you something. Okay. Um, how often do you go to a club meeting?
What? Didn't
How
get you.
often do you go to your club meeting?
Every week.
Every week. Do you speak every week?
I do.
Okay. And what happens when you do every week?
It becomes a habit.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Okay. So
Okay.
basically, basically, when you say, oh, I don't feel like doing it, we just have to learn to make it into a habit. And
So,
habits, they say it takes about 40, 48 days, 45 days to become a habit.
okay. Because so if we attending the club there, one thing is I'm finding something satisfying in the club, one thing, and finding something to achieve, but and I'm finding another person or a group of people, but making a journal for myself, mm, uh, what is the motivational factor we can keep to follow it?
Okay, motivation is like a balloon. Okay, I can give you outside, it's an external motivation is always external. So you need to find out for yourself why you need to do it. If you I can, it's like telling I can take the horse to the pond, I cannot make the horse drink water, right? Okay, the horse has to decide to drink water. So for you, you see what is your motivation. Okay, for example, let's say, do you have any exams coming?
uh,
You said you are a student, right?
I was just done with the exams.
Oh,
And
you're done with the exams. Is there
intern-
something else that's coming?
yeah, currently I'm with my assignments.
Okay, is that something that interests you?
They do.
They do. Okay. So try doing it for that because it interests you, your motivation is high, and then you practice this with that.
Okay.
So because as you said, right, my club meeting I like because that's why I do it. Okay. So same thing. If you like something, you will do it. If you don't like something, you won't do it. Right? So motivation has to come from inside. And if you feel that, okay, I enjoy doing this assignment, then you start journaling and saying, okay, how do I complete this assignment by X number of days? Okay, when do I do it? How do I do it? Who do I get? There's going to be different components to it. So how do I go about doing it?
Yeah, and I have said my VP education. I will take up a role on Friday if I could complete this assignment. And he said
Okay.
complete it as soon as possible. So I need to complete it by tomorrow at any.
So that's your motivation to go back to your club meeting, right?
Right.
Okay, so that becomes your motivation. So you have to make your own motivation. Okay. Did I
Okay.
answer your question?
Yes. The rest I need to figure it out.
Okay, fine. Okay. Navya?
Yeah, hi, Swarna. So the one question I have is, so you will have a lot of interest when you start something, maybe attending the Toastmasters or whatever you do. So you'll have a lot of interest. So you'll do it with full passion. But after some times, it becomes stagnant. You will reach to one point, and after that, you don't see much improvement. So how can we work upon it? So that is my question.
This is common for all of us, okay? Because by nature we want something new. It's human nature is that we like new things, right? We want something to excite us with new things. And I think in Toastmasters, at least in Toastmasters concept, I can tell you that there are a lot of things that happen, right? Like for example, let's say if you're just interested in speeches, then of course you have your contests and things like that to look forward to. If you're looking at leadership, growing yourself, then of course club exco roles are there, area is there, division is there, district is there. So there are things that you can look up to, right? Or maybe look up to say, maybe I want to be a DTM. So what do I do to do a DTM? So you look at a goal that is big enough for you that you feel that I want to do it. When you shift your goal, then most of the time you will sort of the reason why we feel, oh, this is doing mundane repeated thing without a goal, we feel what's there in the meeting, right? Every meeting is the same because we don't have a goal. The only goal is to go and sit and listen and or speak and things like that, which is not motivating you anymore. So you need to look for a goal that will motivate you.
Okay, sure. Thanks.
Yeah. Are you a DTM by now, or are you aiming to be one?
Yeah, I'll aim to be one.
Okay. So look at it. Maybe you want to do projects for your DTM, so that will sort of excite you as well.
Sure. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Saruna Kumar, yes, please.
Hi, Swarna. Yeah, Sarvana here. This may be the continuation of what Pradimya was asking. Uh, like we have when we are journal it for the prioritized task, right? The next day. But there are other prioritized tasks also coming more and more, right? So that time it feels like very drained, and that prioritized task also inexperienced. Like we don't have on those tasks much experience on that, so it is dragging time a lot. So because of that, it drains our energy also, and the rest of the prioritized task it is getting delayed. So basically, like this is this is many of the time it is happening this way. So that the prioritized tasks getting delayed. That's the main ask here. So how to cope in this kind of a situation? Because I have to uh, satisfy or give the response to my management, and at the same time the other prioritized tasks that we need to deliver to the client. So that is also getting stuck. So even though with delegation, it's also sometimes it doesn't work out because of inexperience to work. So all these things adding up, and many time it is draining my energy. So do you have? I want to
Okay.
know from you.
I may not have a one point solution to this, but what I can suggest is, from what I understand, let me recap what I understood, is that you already have or are working on a project that is having a deadline to complete, and then something else has been given to you, and you are now juggling with how to manage the two.
That's one thing.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Okay. Can I assume that this is come from the second one is coming from your, maybe your boss or your manager or whatever, asking you to do it? Hello?
I think he's stuck.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yes,
We can hear you, Swarna.
Okay. Just give me a minute. I think for a minute, my multiple screens got stuck. Okay. Yeah. So, where is thing? I can't see him now. Wait.
No, I think he is stuck. At least his screen is frozen.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Swarna Kumar's.
Okay. In the meantime, I think we go to Akash. When Saruna Kumar comes back, we can answer. Yeah.
Yeah, hi. I think somebody already told the same question, but I wanted to build upon it. So one of the issues which I faced is I usually take on a new project, or I'll start a new project or a new work client, and I'm very excited. I'll make a very detailed timetable, a detailed plan. But after a while, I tend to get bored, and I feel sort of irritated with it, and trying to finish it off as soon as possible. And it sort of loses track. I've seen that in my Toastmasters meeting as well. I think I sing after the same club. I feel okay, the same person is speaking. I tend to get bored over the same thing. So how do you sort of get used to the routine, if that makes sense?
Okay. It's most of the time is how you run a marathon. You know, a marathon is a long process, right? 42 kilometers. And you need to have pit stops. You know, you have to learn to have pit stops there so that you re-energize. You cannot run too fast. Most of the time, what happens with us, this is my personal experience. You may agree or you don't agree, let me know, is when we are excited about something, we run very fast. Right? And then because we run very fast or we do things very fast, we get exhausted. Actually, there is an exhaustion that comes in. Okay. And we don't see, then when the next one comes, we feel, oh, the excitement when I started is not there anymore now. Because when I started, I was very excited. I was running fast, right? But then it's the same thing. I'm seeing the same greenery everywhere. It's the same road that I'm seeing. It's like that, right? So learning to go slow, one of the ways is timing your projects, right? So that even in Toastmasters, many a times I see new members, right? I see them everywhere. They do, then after that, suddenly they vanish from the scene. And I'm like, what happened to this member? Oh, this member not there. Then you call and ask, they say, oh no, I found it so boring, everything, because they ran so fast, right? So you need to have proper pit stops for everything. Okay, so if you're going in Toastmasters, I would say, if you're doing a meeting, look for what you want to do in that meeting. Have a goal in that meeting. Suppose you say, I'm going to this week's meeting. I want to probably do a better evaluation. And that's all you're going to focus. So you're listening to evaluations and you're going to do your evaluation. Similarly, if you're saying, I'm going to improve on my table topics, then learn to do that only. Focus on that little by little. Don't do everything at every time. Sometimes that is overwhelming. This is my personal experience. Okay, just to share with you, I have this habit of running fast as well. Okay, so I joined Toastmasters in 2018. Okay, so this now is 2025. I'm a PDD, okay, so past district director. So I ran very fast as well. But now I realize that, hey, now what do I do, right? When I'm looking at and I'm saying, what else can I do? I feel there's nothing in Toastmasters for me because I've done all the roles. I've done my district role. I have done whatever can be done. And now, like, what else can I do? So I'm going back now to my club and I'm telling them that don't call me for anything. I'm just going to do speeches. So I'm going back to doing speeches, which I feel maybe I missed out in the previous one because I was running so fast, right? I wanted to be a division director. I want to be a CGD, PQD, DD, whatever, right? Like that I ran. So the running too fast is the problem. Most of the time, interest goes down. So we need to have proper pit stops is what is my personal experience. I don't know whether you're able to connect to that.
Sorry, Swarna, Sarvana here again. My connection got lost. Um, Hello.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Sorry, no, I have to say sorry for that. Like, yeah,
No.
somebody.
Even I got frozen for a while, and then I think both of us, something happened on the connection.
Mhm.
Okay. So now coming to your
Yeah.
question, you just want to repeat so that people know what we are talking about?
Yeah, the repeat is like when we left, your question was that is it the same boss giving you the multiple prioritized question,
Yeah.
right? So yes, I can say that, but here the point is the he has been long in the same project for a couple of 6 5 6 years, right? But in my case, it was very new to me. So from his point of view, the time it may take like 10 minutes or 1 hour, but for me, I have to learn, so but it takes a little bit longer. So that's the context here. So
Yeah.
in that case, I'm not able to. So then when I say that, then no, this as per your level, it's supposed to be done. So that kind of a response, it keeps coming. So that
Okay.
actually puts me a lot in my head, and then I'm not able to explain it at the same time. It's kind of an is can't able to set boundaries also.
Okay.
So
You're not able to set boundaries because one is you're in a competitive mode where someone else
yeah,
is doing it better than you, right? And
yes.
and because of that, you're okay.
Yeah, energy also getting drained because of
Yes,
that.
that's
Yeah.
right. I'm not sure in your work place, is there an option to have a mentor or someone who can guide you and things like that? Or maybe you can pair up with someone else. In real life, I mean, if you're outside this example, whenever you get stuck in something like this, it's good to
Mhm.
have a mentor to guide you. Because then, who has walked the path that you have walked, then they are
Mhm.
able to take you through in a better way. So find if there is anyone in your company that you can look up as a mentor, reach out to them and say, how do I speed up my work and maybe they have a tip, or maybe they know how to speak up. They will probably teach you that. So it's good to have a buddy or a mentor. You can even look at a buddy, maybe someone who you're being compared with. You can probably ask, how do you get that done? Can you share with me? Because I struggle with this.
Understood.
Mm.
Okay. Yeah, what you're saying makes sense. But it's again from my challenge only. But as of now, I'm not able to find the mentor also. But I have been, as you're mentioning, I've been searching it. But yeah, I got your point. But I'll
Yeah.
look more on that.
The similar example here, but a little different, is sometimes, we don't know how to say no. So sometimes it's good to ask, okay, I'm working on X, I'm working on Y. Can you tell me now for the next day or this week, which one do I concentrate on? Do I concentrate on X or do I concentrate on Y? Asking that could also help, because sometimes it's just our fear that is stopping us from asking.
Understood.
Yeah, I have found some of them when I suggested it to some of my coaching clients, they say it works, because sometimes it's just that in our head, we think, what will the boss think about me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when they learn to ask, then they say, okay, I have this, I'm already working on this, and this has to be delivered here. You're giving me this. Now tell me, which one do I work on for the next 2 days or 3 days or whatever, right? How do I think? And if they turn around and say you should know, then you probably have to word it in a way to say that I look upon you for your thing. Can you please guide me? And then probably when you word it that way, hopefully they feel that they have to show you the way.
Understood. But as long as that manager is helpful to, groom me or lead me rather than
Yeah.
bossing me, right?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but
It's not the same all the way. Yeah, I
yes.
agree. Yeah, I know. It is not, but asking sometimes is just the start.
Yes.
Yeah. Many a times, I think we also don't want to show that we don't know. I'll give you an example. I recently met with some I'm in financial advisory as well. So there was this lady who is a venture capitalist, and she was talking to me about a lot of things, and then I was sharing with her what Tribe Compass does. And then she looked at the details of the company, and then we were talking about finance, and then suddenly she asked me, so what do you do in L&D? Okay, for me, for a second, right, I was looking at what is L&D in finance. Like I was like, and I was too shy to ask her, because I was like, what will she think, right? But then I had to bite myself up and say, no, what did you mean by L&D?
Very good.
Initially I was like, what will she think of me? She may think, because she approached me and she said, oh, you have 20 years of experience, blah, 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 blah. And then I was like, what do I say? Like, if I ask her, will she think I'm stupid? But the moment I asked her, she said, no, I see L&D in your thing. I meant learning and development. I said, oh, okay. So sometimes
Yeah.
it's our own, the monkey is in our head.
Yeah. True. Thank you, Swarna.
Yeah. Okay. So we almost come to it. Give me a minute. We have almost come to the end of it. So what is your biggest takeaway from this sharing today?
Get away with monkeys.
Get rid of monkeys, yeah? Are you able to see my screen?
Yeah, now it is loading.
Okay.
It is in the presentation view, actually.
It's already in the presentation mode, right?
Yes.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, you're able to see both the screens. Wait. Let me go to the presentation. On top, Swarna, is display settings. You can say duplicate. The top display settings. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Okay, so key takeaways. What's your biggest aha moment today?
Stop carrying monkeys on the back.
Stop carrying. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I have Birinder Singh. Yeah, Ji, please share you want to speak, tell something?
Yeah, many takeaways. One is which Jyotika said, stop carrying monkeys. That is very necessary. And second, I would what you had said, I would reiterate because there were many questions on that. Start making systems and rituals and habits because that makes the progress, not the motivation.
Yeah.
Like brushing of teeth every day. Whatever work we do, we always brush the teeth, whether we have to travel or whether we have to do anything. So that becomes a habit. So that makes a progress. One question which I have to ask you, and how do you manage as a coach? Many times in life, you have people in your life who you know are your energy drainers. They may be your very close friends, they may be your family members, they may be your colleagues, and you know you cannot move away from them. So how do you handle those people?
That is a very tough one, Ji, actually. By the way, are you from military?
Pardon?
Were you in military by any chance?
No, no.
No, okay. Because you talk about habits, so I was wondering, because the military force, the armed forces are a good example of how you just do every day, keep doing the same thing again and again and again until it becomes a habit.
And they have a very, very important thing regarding that monkeys. They plan the task in such a way that they get it done through the team only.
Yeah.
The commander never steps in to do the task which is assigned to the other person.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
That I have seen because I've worked very closely with defense sector, so I have seen the way they work.
Yeah, that's right. And a lot of empowerment actually happens in the process, right? As a team, they learn to work together, then they take responsibility, they become accountable for it, and things like that. But of course, in corporate setup, most of the time, one is they don't have time. So that's the reason why we don't see so many of them having the luxury of that. But when you're talking about, for me, I would say is, I mean, if I really I choose if it is a friend or if it's a colleague, then I will see how important this person is in my life, and if required to I have cut off, because I feel that I may not make enemies out of them, but I make sure that I don't talk to them as much, or keep myself engaged in a way that we don't get so much time together and things like that. But when it comes to family is a very difficult thing because we have to learn to live with them. Sometimes talking to them helps, but sometimes not necessarily. So we will have to learn to sort of shield ourselves from that as well. So I do a lot of energy work on myself. So I believe we are an energy body. So sometimes I do specific rituals, hopefully to shield myself from the negative energy. Yeah. I don't know whether you believe in it or not, but there are ways to protect yourself from negative energy. And so I try to do those things. Yeah. But most of the time is I try to isolate if I can. But as you say, sometimes family is difficult to do it. So they need to learn how to do that as well. We need to learn
Maybe
how to
meditation or Reiki will help.
Reiki will help. Reiki is a good way. Pranic healing is a good way to remove negative energies, channeling your energies, protecting energizing your chakras in a way that you become, your aura is in a way more powerful than the other person's aura. So you sort of, make it difficult for them to encroach into your space.
Thank you.
Yeah. Mm. Okay. Now, one shift for time management.
Swarna, I wanted to talk on this.
Yeah.
So yeah, so whenever anybody say about time and energy, I feel like I know everything, and that's what will come. But it's like only the missing part was make it a habit. So
Yeah.
if you read so many books and you many attend so many sessions, no useful until you try to make habit. Because I have that thing. So when I listen or read a book, okay, I wanted to do from the tomorrow. Okay, I'll do for 2 days, then I'll gone. So I feel after attending a session, we need to make a habit. It's like
Yeah.
unconsciously we have to make all these tasks. Then only we can effectively utilize this session as well.
Yes, that's right. It has to be. You have to, whatever you learn, you go back, reflect, and put it into practice. It's like what we do, right? Learning to speak, learning to overcome our fear of public speaking, all that is the same. It's a habit, right? You keep doing it again and again and again until you do it there. So if you think, okay, I want to try out the 4Ds in my day-to-day life, then make it a habit. Do a chart and see what are that you're going to do tomorrow and put it into that and see what you're going to do, and try and see whether it can work. And then you refine it and maybe you come up with your own technique that works for you, So making a habit. Very good. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah.
Yeah, I have one more question here, right? So when you say that reflection, I feel like I wanted to do reflection every day, but the end of the day, I think I don't have a time, or I feel like I already know everything what I did, why I need. So do you have something which force you to do the reflection every day?
Okay.
Yeah.
There are different ways of doing reflection. So there are days when I have time to sit and write. Okay. There are days I don't have time to write. So before going to sleep, I will do a voice note for myself. I just say, okay, 2 things that worked well or 3 things that worked well today. What didn't work well today and what is my learning? I just do that short. Like it's like a table topic. I do a voice note and put it in. Yeah. So that, at any point I want to. So I put the date and keep it in my phone as a voice note.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. How about one shift in energy management? The 2-minute work. Yeah, the 2-minute rule is very useful. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, 2-minute rule is a useful tip. Just identify what you want to do, finish it off with it, and that way you get over procrastination. Yeah, eat the toad. Yeah, eat the frog. Okay. Okay, action plan. This is post session. So I want you to go back, try and do a weekly Eisenhower check, daily energy audit. You see which one is your energy drainer, which one is your energizer. You identify that and try to bring more of energy into your life. Okay, do a delegation. If you're a leader, do a delegation reflection and see, is there something that you could have done it, could have asked your team to do, or it definitely needed your work. Okay, so you try and see your delegation reflection as well. And then procrastination journal is basically to see which one did you keep postponing. Okay, because you were doing all the sand activities, right? I tend to do that as well. Some days I'm just sitting on my iPad scrolling reels after reels after reels. Doing nothing. So what is it that it's doing? Okay, am I doing only sand activities or am I doing something else? Okay, and then in terms of self-care, look at yourself. Are you eating well? Are you sleeping well? Are you exercising? You're enjoying? Just you really don't have to. For me, my model is very simple. I'm not. I feel that while the body has to be healthy, your mind equally plays an important part. Okay, so keeping your mind clear and conscious is important. So keep yourself happy. Make sure you reduce your stress, because stress, even in a healthy body, can cause the body to collapse. So you need to reduce your stress. So work on it to see how you can reduce your stress. Do you take up too much do you worry yourself too much? Is it necessary? Just look, reflect, have a chat. Sometimes, now you have a very beautiful group here. I would encourage you have a mentor, you have a group, have a chat and see, make it a habit to form a team. Because, sometimes when we are running alone, you can run fast, Okay, but if you really want to run far, they say that we have to run together. So form a team of like-minded people. Your group is there, your mentor is there. Try and form, keep in touch and say, hey, this is my challenge. How do you do it? Find a way to, so that you can create a wonderful group of people who will walk this journey with you and make new habits, bring things that you learned today. You cannot go and share this with your partner or with anybody else because they weren't in this session. But you can definitely have a chat with fellow participant and say, hey, this one, what do you do? Did you have a challenge? So it becomes an engagement topic. So you can do that. Go back, like today, Jyotika was sharing about how Navya went back to the club with the thing. Go back and share, because that's how we learn and we reinforce what we have learned. Because one is by doing, by keep repeating it, you will definitely be important. And this is important, friends. I feel, especially as Toastmasters and trying to juggle between work, home, Toastmaster is a passion. We all love it. That's why we go back to our clubs again and again and again. So how do we keep all of it together is basically learning some skills that we can take it forward from. Okay, so this is my sharing so far. Okay, you can do a live dashboard if you want. Okay, so you can do categorize, just not with work, but you can go into other things as well. Okay, relationship, what do I want to do? Finance, what do I want to do? Well-being, what do I want to do? So create a dashboard and see how you have trackers, have goals, short-term goals, long-term goals, and then take it forward. So I hope this session was useful for you. Okay, and as I said, what was your biggest takeaway? I think a lot of you have shared that with me. If you wish to connect with me, this is my QR code. So you can connect with me on WhatsApp or LinkedIn, or you can take it forward. You want to discuss something either on Toastmasters or on anything else, I'm always willing to give you a listening ear. Okay, so that's my session. Thank you so much. And I now hand over the stage back to Jyotika. Thank you very, very much for a wonderful participation and keeping this session going.
Thank you very much, Swarna. Let's give DTM's Distinguished Toastmaster Swarna a huge round of applause. You can feel free to unmute yourself and give her a shout. And for all the time that she's taken, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Swarna.
you.
Thank you very much.
Amazing session.
This is nice session.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You all have been amazing audience as well. Participants, actually. I shouldn't even say audience. You all are participants, engaging, very, very engaging. For any trainer, we enjoy when we have amazing participants. If I have to do just talking, then it doesn't make sense at all, So you need someone to interact, give examples. And I have learned a lot today as well. There were questions which make me think as well today. There was a question, I believe that we learn in every way, right? And one question which I misunderstood is a reflection for me, is that did I listen properly? Why did I come to a conclusion? Was there assumption? You remember we talk about assumption, right? So did I assume something here? Is a learning for me as well. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Swarna. It's always a learning for all of us, right? And it's in situations like these you learn new things. But it's really been a pleasure listening to you. Personally, for me, there has been so many takeaways. I can just list it. If you see, I have just listed everything. But one thing that really stands out for me is that leadership is not a sprint; it is a marathon, and it's a holistic marathon where you need to imbibe the qualities of being a leader consciously. Nobody is going to give you a magic wand and a pixie dust on you saying that, hey, you've become a leader. You could perhaps get a title, but you probably won't be an effective leader if you do not practice it. So discipline, patience, and keep consistently doing it. So thank you, Swarna. It has indeed been a pleasure and honor, and please accept the small token. We're sitting in India, So we'll try our level best to make you happy and say thank you very much.
Oh,
Gratitude.
thank you.
Appreciation.
I do cherish, if you have my WhatsApp profile, you will know that's a very wonderful gift I got from District 121. So I cherish that a lot. It's like it's something that I keep it on my table. So thank you so much. Yeah,
Thank you. Thank
121.
you
I
very
love you
much.
guys. Yeah. After all, it's my home. I'm from Bangalore.
Yes, yes, you're from Bangalore, and we have Bangalore as South Bangalore as a part of District 121, and you know that, Swarna. So
Yeah.
thank you very much. It's really been a pleasure, and regards from our District Director Gokul as well. Sorry he could not be here today due to some other responsibility that he had that he could not avoid. But again, thank you very much from District 121, and personally from me. And thank you for spending those time. I think several sessions we had sitting together and brainstorming. You've been very kind, in spite of being in London and different places. You've managed to give your time to us. We really
No
appreciate it,
problem.
and
Yeah.
we're grateful for that. Thank you
Yeah.
very
Can
much.
we take a group picture?
Yes, indeed. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Darren?
Yes, Jyotika. So everybody, this is your cue to come on camera. I'm going to give you 5 seconds because I still can see some off camera. All right, 3, 2, 1, smile, everybody. All right, I'm clicking screen 1. Just give me a minute. Okay, moving on to 2. And finally, screen 3. Keep smiling, everybody. Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you, Daryl. Thank you very much. And Swarna, we will be posting here the feedback link as well. So all our participants will also give in their feedback, and we'll send it to you shortly when we have everything compiled together.
Okay,
So
thank you so
very
much. Thank you very much. Yeah, feedback is
Thank you.
important, guys. That's how I learn. So please be very truthful on your feedback. Did you get value? If you didn't, you tell what you expected and you probably didn't get as well. Okay, we will review it. We have kept time as the priority because we want to do certain things within this time. So that's the reason why we did. Maybe I could have had more information, but we tried to cut down certain things because of time. Yeah. Okay. And I think it's time for your dinner time, or I don't know if any one of you had your dinner already. So have a wonderful dinner and lovely connecting with all of you. And remember, I'm always available, right? Anything y'all want, please reach out, either in your Toastmasters journey or elsewhere. I'm willing to listen and help you. Yeah.
Thank you.
And today there were so many questions that also reflected what we're going to do next time. And I'm like, oh my God, our audience is so energetic and so reflective. And really, they're giving it a thought that they are asking things that is already planned. So kudos. I'm really proud of y'all. I'm seriously proud of y'all. So next week, we're going to have our next session, which is going to be a peer huddle. But what we will cover there is the SMART goal. I think someone asked about, Swarna also spoke about goals, right? A little bit about goals. That was an answer to a question. But we are going to go in detail a little bit on how to set your SMART goals, because I think Akash was saying that he loses track of what he needs to do, or rather, I think he loses interest. So probably SMART goals will help you to stay in track. And also probably now that you'll have asked the question, we are also going to add why you should do what you should do. Probably we'll add that as well. So we'll speak about that a little bit. So with that, I'll say good night, but please don't leave because we have a look ahead for tomorrow. And then I think the meeting will be closed by Daryl this time. Over to you, Daryl.
Thank you very much, distinguished Toastmaster Jyotika. Good. I still say good evening, everybody. And I know it's dinner time, but hey, it's time for me to share what's the plan for the week ahead. So let me quickly share my screen. All right, so the first task for each one of you, yes, today's session was very enlightening and insightful, but the learning doesn't stop here.
You need to go back, reflect on what you have learned, and apply it in a post-session assignment, which is a part of your workbook as well. There are multiple parts to it, so I'll just take a few minutes. I'll take a couple of minutes to elaborate on what you have to do. Firstly, you have to work on updating the Eisenhower Matrix. So the matrix is already there in your workbook, but based on the activities that you have listed in your pre-session assignment or pre-session notes, go back, reflect on that, and what changes have been made is what you need to update there. The second is the 7-day energizer and drainer. So for 7 days, you'll need to log one particular activity that energizes you and one particular activity that drains the energy out of you. For do this for 7 days. The third aspect is something that you have not been able to delegate, but you will delegate a task that you will delegate. So make a note of that task and what belief stopped you or made you procrastinate is what you need to identify there. The next is where you have a procrastination journal. You identify one recurring procrastination habit, apply a tool, and track the progress for the next over 7 days. And lastly, self-care audit is what we expect you to complete, where you pick one or two energy practices that you follow daily and track its impact. So it could be a mindful break, it could be a routine that you practice. So please work on this and submit it to your mentors by the 21st of September, that is the coming Sunday. All right. So with that, with this particular session, we come to the end of live training too, but go ahead and post your reflections, what you have learned, what you felt about today's session on your LinkedIn profile. If you have not followed Leap 3.0 on social media, go ahead and do that and also share your thoughts. Appreciate our trainer on our LinkedIn page. You can definitely tag her as well. The pre-reading material for the next session, which is the Pure Huddle, happening on the 24th of September, will be shared during the weekend with each one of you. I hope you have already embarked on your Pathways Mentor program. If you have not, here's a reminder to complete the first task of preparing yourself to become a mentor, that particular project by the 23rd of September, and start finding your mentee for the short-term mentoring project. I also hope you have seen the Pathways Mentor timeline that we have already shared. Lastly, but most importantly, it is September time, and in Toastmasters, September means renewal. So I hope you have, or if you have not, please do renew your membership with your Toastmasters club, ASAP. With that, I think I will stop sharing. I hope everything is clear. If you have any queries, you can reach out to your mentor, and mentors, if you have any queries, you can reach out to me. Thank you so much, and I'll give it back to Jyotika for closing remarks and feedback, if any, from the
Well,
audience. From the participants.
I've already closed. I have to just say goodnight. But I think before we leave, I'd like to hear from our leapers. What did you feel about the session? Anyone would like to speak? Kalyani, anyone would like to speak? Feel free to speak. It's okay.
No, while I think one point I wanted to add, Valata here, Jyotika, is that we always had sessions on time management, time, etc. But time and energy, for me, it has been the very first time. So it really was very powerful, that message of how energy, is drained out, the time, how it'll go. It's equally drained out, right? So I think that was a very powerful insight.
Yes. Great, Lata. All right, Kalyani, you were saying something?
Yeah, it was a great session, and definitely I learned one most important thing is focus on small goals with the proper pit stops. And that is what I'll take it from here.
Yes. We try to do so many things, right? We, I think, overestimate the 10 minutes or 1 hour that we have, or rather it's the other way around. I think we overestimate 1 year, what we can do in 1 year, and underestimate what we can do in an hour's time or a day's time. All right. Thank you, Kalyani. What about anyone else would like to go? Any mentors would like to speak today? Anita?
I think there are some people who have raised hands.
Yes,
Nothing
Sunil
much
Kumar?
to say. For me, it was a very enlightening session because, as Lata said, about time management, we keep hearing so often, but about time and energy, how to save our energy and what drains our energy is something I had not given a thought to. So thanks a lot to DTM Swarna for really bringing it up.
Thank you, Anita. Thank you, Sunil. Over to you.
Yeah, thanks, DTM Jatika. So I just want to mention that DTM Swarna's session today was a good combination of insights, plus she shared her experience, also took up enough Q&A, which is not really a common thing that we can see. There will be a lot of insights shared, a lot of contents, but then this was a good combination. It had good balance. So I just want to say thank you to her. Her experience really helped us. It elated us to the next level after listening to her. So thank you.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, Sunil. Thank you very much. Over to you, Navya. You want to say something?
Yeah, it's Chatika. So at the very start, you started with a quote. So if you do things on time, you'll find time for everything. So this is the one thing I want to remember each and every day. Before start anything, I just love the way you put it on, and yes, and definitely the session was enlightening and it was really great. But this quote made me, to think more. So thank you so much for sharing this. Thank you.
Thank you to Asha Bhosle, not to me, because this is what she said. But it stuck with me with Fevicol, right, for last 20 years. And it's so true. It's so true. Thank you, Navya. Shilpa, over to you. Shilpa Rajan.
Just to add on to what everyone said, I think they've almost covered everything I wanted to say. But the case studies, what she took, connected a lot. It made me reflect. I mean, I could see traces of me in both those situations. And when you see it written, is when you realize, oh my God, what have I been doing? Why have I not been delegating? Why have I been burned out? So it was a very, very insightful session, very useful. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you. I think we all have connected at some point or the other. We saw ourselves there, right? We are all there because we're human beings, and that's bound to happen. All right, Bhavna, over to you.
Yeah, so the point that really enlightened me as the leader, we should also try buying some time. We always think, okay, this is the limited time and we have to make ourselves. So why not we also try buying some time? So that was really a great takeaway for
Yeah.
me. And from that on,
Yeah,
we can all efficiently manage with the time and energy and build better things.
True, true. I totally agree. Reflecting, I think that is something that's really worth thinking about, buying time. We often think that we have to please people and we have to immediately respond on time. Sometimes it's okay to buy time. Great, great point, Bhavna. Anyone else? So before we say good night and tata, anyone wants to say anything? All right, I think everyone has spoken. So the feedback is open here, and please put in your feedback. And as you know, that is a precondition for you to complete this program, that every session, the feedback must be submitted, because that's the only thing that we are giving our facilitators who come all the way, I mean, in their own homes, but yes, they're making the effort to come here. So we have to give them the feedback. And also feedback for the sessions, because this is the reason we're able to incorporate your feedback and improve our sessions. And it's very important, right, to give you better sessions each week. So congratulations to you all also. You'll have been doing a great job, fully committed, I think aligned and syncing with the program now. So we're pretty much there. The chemistry is established between a LEAP team, the students, the mentors, and all of us. So I'm happy. So I can say that we're all engaged now, just waiting to get married, if that makes sense. All right. Okay. Don't take it seriously. All right, Bharadwaj. All right. Thank you very much. With that, we close today's meeting.
Married. I'm already married.
Oh, he's already thinking about. All right. I'm going to edit this, okay, in the recording. All right. Thank you very much. With that, I'd like to close today's session, and we'll meet for yet another session. That's on Friday. No, on Wednesday next week. And we're going to come back for our second peer huddle this time with distinguished Toastmaster Anita Cordero, who will talk about SMART goals and also reflection on how you've spent the week. So journaling is very, very important. Thank you very much. Good night, Shubharatri, and bye-bye.
Good
Good night,
night.
everyone.
Good night.
Good
Good
night,
night,
everyone.
everyone. Good night,
Thank you.
everyone.
Had a great session, guys. Take care. See you next time.